Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Hang on one second. Let's just check if the audio is working. Might as well check really quick. Yo, Becca, what's up, bro? Tried to add some stuff coming on the screen, some text. I don't know if it worked or not, but maybe not. Hello, brother. What's up, guys? Hi. Thanks for joining. We're gonna be working on unloading some chunks around the camera. There's a few things I need to fix after looking at it, after looking at the code. Guess I'll do a quick little demo real quick. So this is what we currently got. Oh, what the fuck is happening? Okay. So we're currently loading all the chunks. I do want to switch these sand blocks to be something else, so it's a little easier to see like the definition of the chunk loading and everything. But whoa, you're coming on the screen, bro. Interview went great. I'm waiting for the next stage. Let's go, bro. That's dope, dude. I'm happy for you. No, it says welcome. Whoa, you're coming on the screen. Yeah, bro. Loki, I'm coming on the screen. But yeah, it's looking good. It loads the chunks. I kind of want to add the unloading here around the red and distance, so I don't think that implementation should be too bad, but probably want to switch these blocks too. But you know, probably also want to mess around with the noise too, see if we can get some mountains going maybe or something, but I don't know. We'll see. Becca, how you know Max? He's been watching the streams for a little while. But yeah, I guess we'll start off with the problem of the day, because why not? Given a 2D array of characters, grid of size mm, you need to find if there's exists any cycle consisting of the same value in grid. Cycle is a path of length 4 or more. If the grid starts in the same cell from a given cell, you can move to cells adjacent to it in one of the 4 directions. Okay. You cannot move to the cell that you visited in your last move. Okay. This is 1-1, which was the last cell visit. Return true if any cycle of the same values exists in grid, otherwise return false. So I got a little diagram here. So this is true. This is true. So I'm trying to think here. I don't know if there's an optimized way to do this, but I feel like we can do it. Oh, wow, this counts too. Okay. Damn. Okay. So maybe the way to go about this is maybe a DFS with a visited set. I think, yeah, probably a DFS with a visited set. Know if you can get back to the original cell without going back to a cell that you've already visited. Genuine question, Max. What's the biggest roadblock you're running into right now? It's the biggest roadblock. Honestly, dude, probably just the knowledge, bro. Like, I don't really know a lot. I'm pretty new to graphics programming, so just kind of like the knowledge about kind of how to do things. I got to do a lot of research before I implement anything, but yeah, that's probably the biggest roadblock. But good question. Trying to think. I feel like that's probably the move with this question. I think it's probably a DFS problem. It is a DFS problem. So union, find, matrix, array. I think this should work. Let's see the hints. Keep track of the parent previous position to avoid considering an invalid path. Use DFS or BFS and keep track of the visited cells to see if there is a cycle. Okay, so I was right. Taking a break from dev to do a daily leak code problem. Yeah, dude. I usually just do the daily leak code problem every time. I actually, believe it or not, I actually enjoy doing it. I know that's probably crazy to say, but I've got so much better as well. Like, it's insane. But Okay, we probably don't even need this. So I think we're just gonna do like a DFS with a visited set. I think that's probably the way to go here. Yeah, just to grab the cycle. So how do we want to begin this? Well, I guess we just want to check from every single. I'm trying to think here. So let me just read the problem again. A cycle path is length 4 or more in the grid that starts and ends at the same cell from a given cell. You can move to one of the adjacent to it in one of the 4 directions: up, down, left, or right. Has the same value in the current cell. Okay. So I guess I'm trying to think. Would we want to run the DFS from every single cell though? That's the difference. I don't know. Would that pass? Maybe. I guess we can just try it. Why not? You can do this with Union Find. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Union Find, to be completely honest with you. I don't know those advanced data structures. I kind of try to avoid them. Teach me about Union Find. Sorry, not data structure. Sorry, data structure. Algorithm. Sorry, dude. I don't know why I said that, but okay. Okay, don't show me any code, but does. What's the problem number? 159. Oh no, it's fine. Trick that makes it. What's the question? Yeah, it's been a. I've tried to learn Union 5, but honestly, it doesn't really stick. It's probably pretty easy to learn, but I just got to do a lot of problems with it. You think this would pass, Becker, if we just did a DFS? I think that's just kind of what I'm gonna go with here, but let's do like an unordered set. We'll do stood pair int. Whoops, stood pair int. Oh shit. Int visited. We can have our DFS here. We can return a bool DFS. Just grab our DFS. Bool DFS. Probably want to pass in. Yeah, probably the grid, right? I would probably think so. Vector, char, reference. Grid. DFS is fine. Probably better here, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just not. I'd have to do some research into Union Find. We got our visited. We got a DFS here. What else do we need? Trying to think here. Trying to think, do we want to run the DFS from every position in the grid? Is that necessary? Probably not. Can you do it faster? Probably. But what I mean by that is running it from here, and just checking everything. Because really, we only need to return true if any cycle of the same value exists in the grid. So I guess we can start with that, and then we can maybe optimize down. In calls is grid.size 0, not size. We can grab our rows and our columns, so probably want to pass that into, so I guess we can pass in rows, calls, grid. I'm going to pass in visited, but we probably don't want to pass in a reference of it because we want the visitor to reset every time. Hi, I'm from Armenia. I have one question. What version of VS installer do you use? What version of Visual Studio installer do I use? I actually have no idea, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just updated Visual Studio, if that helps you at all. I really don't know, dude. Sorry. Let's think here. Visited. Sorry, what am I doing here? We want a unordered sets. A stood pair of an int, visited. We don't want to reference though, because we want to reset the visit array. Okay. We need our int rows and our columns. So int rows, int cols. Very good thing to learn. It's not hard at all. Yeah, I probably should learn. I don't know. I'm not really trying to grind leak code and learn all these things, but you know, I just enjoy doing it for fun, just with the skill set I have. But maybe if I was to interview again, then yeah, probably be a good idea. Rose calls, grid visited. Shit. Okay. Yeah, let's loop here. For int I is less than rows I plus plus. Let's just loop over everything. J probably won't pass, but it's alright. We can figure out how to make it pass. Okay. Maybe we can do a global visited array. I'm gonna leave that up here. Could maybe optimize this. Like maybe I am 15-year-old. I already finished all courses of C++ and don't know what libraries and VS installer use. Yeah, that's great, bro. I think that's awesome. I'm not familiar with what version of Visual Studio installer I use. I use the latest version of Visual Studio. I literally just updated it a couple days ago. So Visual Studio 26, just the latest one. Maybe do a global visited. I don't know, just an idea. Maybe it'd optimize it. I don't know if this will. I can stick with that. Yeah, let's just do DFS. I guess we can probably pass in our current location, right? Info, int col, int rows. Yeah, so it would be I, J, rows, cols, grid, visited. Okay. Guess we can do, well, if this, right? Then we can just return true, right? Otherwise, we can just return false. Let's just return false. Return false. Cool. Now we have our DFS function here. We'll do recursive DFS because it's been a while since I've implemented it, so probably a good refresher anyway. Base case. Well, I guess we need a directions array too. Now that I think about it, is it good too good to use for learning and to reinforce what you know? Probably not. Probably wouldn't recommend it, to be completely honest with you. Let's play some music. I'd probably say, yeah, I just do it because I enjoy it, because it's fun. I don't know. I don't think many people find it fun, so I probably wouldn't recommend it. I think working on projects is way better, so I wouldn't leak code. I've just been leak coding for a little while. Actually, let's do something different. Let's do like some. bro. Let's see here. What should I play? Let's do like. Let's just play this. Base case. Well, we probably need a directions array too, so let's probably do that. You're a good guy. You will one day create Minecraft Max Week Boost Edition. Let's go. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I'm getting close. I'm not trying to do like a full replica or anything, but let's see. Directions. Vector super int directions is equal to 1 0 1 1 0 probably 1 1 1. Wait, no, what is it? 0 1 1 0. So this is 0 1 0 minus 1 1 0. Sorry, this would be 0 and minus 1 0. Let's do that. I think this looks good. We need a way to move. Whoops, I think did that wrong. So let's just, should be brace initialization. Whoops. Oh no. Okay. I don't even know if this is necessary actually. We can just move it in the DFS, so maybe not actually, but I guess our recursive DFS, well, let's think about it. I already forget vector. I should go and watch videos again. Yeah, the best way is to just, I don't know, keep working at it. I'm no pro, but just keep working at it every day, bro. Okay. I guess what do we want to do? If it's out of bounds, what do we want to do? Well, trying to think. So I guess if we start from what do we want to do here? So we want to always remember the position that we started from, right? So I guess we can do like stood pair int we need to remember this everywhere we go, so maybe we can just pass in like a stood pair. Stood pair int started. I was watching your code. You make an impression of pro coder. I appreciate it. I'm definitely not amazing, but trying to get better. So stood pair int started. I guess we can just construct it here. So you probably want a reference to this, but I don't think it really matters how much for this here. Let's do like stood pair. Stood pair int started is equal to ij. I think this should construct it. Does this construct a stood pair? Okay, that's good. Okay, can just pass this in over here. It started. Cool. So now we have our started. So I guess if... Sorry for bad English. It's okay, bro. It's okay. I appreciate you being here, bro. So I guess we want to check if it's out of bounds, right? If it is out of bounds, we would probably just want to return false, right? So if row is less than 0 or col is less than 0, or we have a row minus 1, sorry, or rows minus 1. Sorry, if row is greater than rows minus 1, or col is greater than cols minus 1. Okay, we'll deal with that. I'm not American, it makes it difficult to speak or write English. Oh yeah, I totally understand, bro. Rows minus 1. Out of bounds, right? What do we want to do? Well, if it's out of bounds, we just return false, right? What is another case that we return false? Or visited visited row. Sorry, what is that visited array again? It's a stood pair. Should this be maybe better that this is like a array? I think I'm gonna change this to be yeah, I'm gonna use a vector instead. Actually, we can fill it with Boolean values, so let's pass this instead. Stood vector. Okay, instead of a unordered set of ints, we can pass in a stood vector bool visited. Are you good at matrix? I mean, I'm okay.
The American Express Platinum card.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You can unlock experiences like no other.
Stood
Find out your
vector.
welcome offer. Get up to $400 in Resi credits and earn 5 times points on eligible flights and prepaid hotels.
So, or visited row call is... So if it's true, we want to return false, right? We already visited it, so... I guess we can do that for now, right? Once we've done that, we want to, let's add to visited, right? So visited row call is equal to true. Probably want to have, we probably want to check if cycle, right? So if check if cycle, so I guess we can do int started row is equal to started dot first, int started call is equal to started dot call, and we can do, okay, well, if No, this probably won't work. It's the beginning of good games, and if you know, you're already high level. It's the beginning of good games, and if you know, you're already high level. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Oh, I'm trying to think here. The first case here will not work. Damn, dude. I'm trying to think. I guess we can take note of it. This check won't work on first call. Right, something we need to fix. If started row is equal to row and started call is equal to call, and we probably want to. We've found a cycle, right? We can just return true. Return true. Okay. Then we actually probably want the DFS part, right? So the DFS part, we probably want to loop through our directions. God, this is going to be such high. I don't know if this is going to work. Actually, now that I think about it, dude, we probably don't need this. We can do a global visited. Let's do that. We'll make a global visited and a local visited. Do a global visited too. Global visited. Global visited. Okay. If global visited I J, not global visited I J, then we can do this. Okay. We found a cycle DFS part, so here we probably want to go, that's probably where we need our directions here. Shit, this is probably going to be so high in time complexity. I don't think this is going to pass. Make sure, never give upping. Thank you. I need to leave. You're a good coder. Good day. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Okay. Probably want our directions array. Let's grab it. Stood pair directions. We want a reference as well. Alright, so how do we want to do this? I guess for auto X row, X call in directions. We want to let's do our int new row, int new call is equal to I guess X row plus row X call plus call, and then we want to call DFS again on that. So DFS new row, new call, rows, calls, grid visited Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay, now we're at this spot here. So started called. Let's check won't work on first call. Yeah, so this check won't work here. Fuck. Global visited. How do we want to do this? How are we going to remember the beginning without being on the first call? Damn, bro. I don't know. Guess we can have some sort of flag or something. I don't know, like bull flag. We can just pass in this flag, right? Flag is equal to false. I don't think this is really going to matter too much, like make flag false, do flag is equal to false. And we pass in flag every time as... Well, actually, we don't even need to make flag false, I don't think. We can just pass it in as false after the first iteration. Pass in false every time. I guess that works. Our private here, public.
Does it feel like your brand gets lost in
something?
sales season while others get the clicks? Stop, please.
Got an ad, dude. What is going on here? X for X column directions. Fast. Why is this? We missing some brackets somewhere? No. Yes, we're missing a parenthesis here. That is why. Okay. Cool. Let's run this. Now that I realize we need to actually add it to the global visited. If global visited protocol is false, and we do global visited protocol language, sorry, is equal to false. Okay. We are missing something. DFS, IJ, rows, calls, grid, visited, started, directions. If global visited, shit, we can't see that. Guess we have to pass in global visited as well. But this time as a reference. What's this down here? Global visit. Second. Oh, bro. Oh, we need to return here. What do we do? Bool DFS. We return true. I guess we would just return false, no? Return false. Jeez, man, I've got so much code in here. It's so hard to not worth stepping through all this. I feel like we have the rough idea. Oh, yeah, that's true. Actually, do we really need a... So maybe we don't actually need the global visited. I think I'm overthinking this way too hard. Pull the flag. Let's take the directions array though. Pass this in as a reference to the visited array. Let's get rid of that. Oh, you cannot move to the cell that you visited in your last move. You're from Oz, right? Yeah, I am. I'm from Australia. Yeah. I live in the US. So started directions. Global visited. Let's get rid of that. IJ rose calls visited started. Get rid of this. I wanted to do this leak code last night. It looked fun. Yeah, dude. It's kind of a grind. Trying to think. Directions visited. Okay. We probably want started. We don't need that anymore. We realize that's not needed, so let's get rid of this. Boom. See you later. We got grid visited directions. We need to hold our parent. Means parent. Sorry, whoops. Parent row means parents colon. Okay. Let's split this up. Let's do this. Let's do if visited row call. Do this, and we can put the if inside of this if. A little easier to read, I feel like. DFS and pass and DFS and passing, pass visited and current. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, can be done using union find too. I don't know those hardcore algorithms. Like, honestly, can't be fact to learn it. I mean, completely honest with you, but -1. We don't know what our parent is at this point. Rows, calls, grid, visited, directions, return true. Okay. We're out of bounds here. And we've already visited. Fuck this. We return false. Add to visited. Okay, we can get rid of this if here. This is not needed. This is not needed. Okay. Okay. So as we loop here, we probably want some bounce checks here, I would assume. Unless we can do the bounce checks over here. You do code forces? No, dude. Not really. I'm not that super into competitive programming. I just like doing it for fun, to be honest. I mean, I guess we're doing all this out here. What do we want to do? We could probably just do it inside the... Okay. Let's leave this here. Let's move these bounds down here. Oh. Grab these bounds. Visited. New row, new column. Okay, so I guess we'd want to do... Okay. If... out of bounds. This needs to be new row. New row. Let's do the bounce checks separately. New row, new code. You do code forces, bro? Ramen? Call, new call. Calls, new rows. Okay. So if it's out of bounds, we just return false, right? Do we need to return false? Maybe we can just continue. Okay. What other things we need to check here? We're checking characters too, so probably need to check. Well, if grid new row new call does not equal the previous, right? So I guess grid row call. Except one question: which is the contest proctors made just for him because they knew he was coming? Hang on, I did a contest yesterday, and some reason the best code forces programmer was there. Everyone had teams of 3. This dude completed the entire contest by himself. Except one question, which the contest proctors made just for him because they knew he was coming, but it was so difficult he couldn't do it. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. You're probably much better than me, bro. If you do code forces, it's probably a lot harder. I've never even really looked at it, to be honest. I kind of like staying on LeetCode because I've already got all my stats and everything on here, and I don't really want to restart, I guess. If you kind of get what I mean. Let's just continue here. We don't need that. I guess if visited new row new column, if we've already visited it, sorry, this is if true, right? If it's visited, probably just want to continue, right? If are we missing anything else? If the parent, right? Did we do that? Yeah, we need to do the parent, right? If I feel like we'd probably want to return true here, right? Right, if we can get back to the beginning. Leak code is more fun. Look at this, man. Took classes at Princeton and went to MIT, QR at Citadel. Wow, yeah. Leak code is more fun. Code files is just more mathy and the questions are a bit hard to read at first. Yeah, I've looked at some of them. Yeah, they are a little hard to read. Okay, so we did this. I guess we probably need to check the parent, right? Check the parent. New row, new goal, rows, calls. Grid. Visited. Okay, we can get rid of started. Are you prepping for a new job, graduate, or just trying to get better at CPP? Yeah, I'm just a hobbyist, bro. Honestly, I work as a software engineer at an insurance company. I do leak code for fun. I usually just do the daily problem. Just keep my skills sharp, I guess. Yeah, I work on. I just working on a Minecraft project right now. Doing a clone. Yeah, just to get better at graphics programming. You know, I like graphics programming for as a hobby, but that's kind of what I do. And then I plan to start working on a game engine after. A voxel game engine, so I don't know, just do it for fun. Fire, that's cool. Yeah, dude. Just I don't know, stuff like that. I got nothing else to do, so yeah. What about you, bro? You work or? If we return true from this, we would just want to return true, right? I am about to graduate in a couple weeks, but I have a job for graduation at MSc. I plan on working in C++. Cool, dude. That's dope. Yeah, I work for an insurance company. I love my job. I do a lot of web stuff. Yeah, dude, that's cool, man. I love C++. So I completely taught myself C++, like, from scratch. So watched a lot of Cherno videos and things like that. Just teach myself C++, but that's cool, man. Happy for you, bro. New York City is a cool place. Return false. Okay, that's fine. Cool. So I think we're probably in a better spot here. DFS, -1, -1. Where are we setting? I guess we're missing this here, right? Parent row, parent call. We probably want. Shit, dude. We want row call here, right? So row call, rows calls, grid, visited directions. Cool. Nice. I took a class this semester, and so I was able to learn a bit more. I also took a class by Vijan. Cool. Got my book signed by him. Pretty cool. Nice, dude. That's awesome, bro. That's dope. That's cool. Yeah, I've been reading What book am I reading right now? Fuck, what is it called? Oh my gosh, dude, I can't remember. Hang on. Effective Modern C++. And C++ 11 and 14. It's honestly probably the first programming book I've ever read, to be honest, but I'm kind of about halfway through, by Scott Myers. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's pretty chill, that book, so. Okay, I'm missing something here. Missing that, there we go. I don't know if you've ever read that book, but it's pretty chill. Visited, what the fuck, why is this not working? I think I need some brackets around this, right? No. Use of undeclared identifier row. Oh, whoops. Yeah, this should be IJ. Whoops. IJ. Rows declared here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'm trying to do some projects now between work and graduation so I can sharpen the C++ skills. That's cool, man. Yeah, you should, I don't know. I would recommend graphics programming, stuff like that, but I don't know if that's your thing, but graphics programming definitely isn't for everyone, but oh, there we go. Let's see if this passes. Cool. Well, that took a little longer than I thought. It took about 40 minutes, but cool. Not too bad. Let's see what it was rated. What contest was it in? Code contest rating. ELO. Sorry, recode rating. That's what I'm looking for. Bi-weekly contest 33. Oh. Damn, bro, that was 1800 rated, bro. That's crazy, bro. That problem was not that hard. It's crazy. All right. I'll check it out. I like learning more about C++ can be used. Yeah, dude, it's fun, bro. It's probably my favorite language. Like, I love C++. My friend got me into it too. But if you want to see what I got so far, bro, this is what I got. Yeah, I got a little bit of the chunks generating here, and yeah, they're all the same. I mean, all the mountains pretty much, but you can probably figure out how to generate, taller structure and things like that. I did something really simple, but I guess the sand blocks on top. Is 1800 hard or chill? Is 1800 hard or chill? I mean, it's okay. I think 1800. Let's see here. 1800. Code ELO rating. High level of proficiency, generally placing users within the top tier of active contest participants. At this level, you can solve most medium problems and some hard problems. That's literally my level right there. I can probably solve most mediums and some hards, but yeah. I've also, dude, I've been doing a shit ton of LeetCode, bro. Like, fuck me. You want to see my stats, bro? Damn, and you can build this in C++. That's pretty cool. I definitely want to learn more. Yeah, dude. It's not too bad. Yeah, dude. Look at me. I've solved 600 problems roughly, but I've been LeetCoding for a little while though. 2025, 2024. I started, yeah, about a year and a half ago, I would say. Yeah.
This journey with childhood cancer comes at you in waves. Every day we
try to stay active, but
our 2-year-old has cancer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I definitely want to learn more. Damn, what the fuck?
The tumor is about the size of a baseball.
Yeah, bro.
I believe.
Yeah,
in the power
I just
of hope.
I don't know. Maybe it's kind of, I don't know. It's fun, bro. I don't know. I enjoy the problem solving, but all right, fuck. Let's okay. So the goal for today is I want to unload chunks. I want to unload chunks around the camera. I think I'm at the 1800 level for sure around there. Yeah. takes me a while to learn things though. I'm not really a fast learner. Like, well, I guess maybe I am in a way, but it takes me a lot of repetition to learn stuff. Yeah, so the goal is, I mean, I'm generating chunks right now, so as I walk, chunks generate, but really the goal is now is we want to unload chunks, you know, kind of like a real render distance. I only have 124. Yeah, 120. Yeah, dude, when I was at 124 problems, I was still so bad. I had leak code, but you probably learned much faster than me. I had to do at least like 300 before I could figure out stuff, so... Okay, so we want to unload. So I guess we can kind of look back at where we were at, right? Location.cpp. So we did add, I believe, a new method down here. Yeah, generate chunks around camera that passes in the camera chunk. So I feel like we can probably do the same, right? We just obviously do the opposite check that if it's greater than that, we would unload, right? So we grab the chunk position. Oh, no, sorry. What is this? Oh, yeah. So this is the chunk position that we're in. We generate the chunk. We check if it's inside there. If it is, we don't generate it. Type shit. We get the chunk. Then we, if we can successfully get the chunk from the world map, then we can build it, and then we insert it into our mesh chunks. Now I do want to change this. I am using an unordered map right here. I think the better way here is to use an unordered set. I don't even think I'm doing anything with this array. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even think it's really doing anything. So yeah, anyway, cool. So now we're there. I think what we want to do, we want to go into our world.cpp. We want to add 2 new methods, right? So we probably want to add a const has chunk, right? And we would want to pass in a chunk position. Right, this would probably be const has chunk. Sorry, not const. Whoops. We want a bool has chunk. What am I doing? That gives back const. Then we want a unload chunk. An unload chunk. Okay, yeah. So that would probably be a load chunk. We want to pass in that chunk position again. We want to unload that chunk. I guess we can return void here. So I guess the first step here is let's actually change. So I believe in application.h we had our mesh chunks here. Now I want this to probably be an unordered set instead. So let's do stood unordered set. Oh, unordered multi-map. Unordered set. Chunk position to a chunk. Or do we even need that? No, it would just be, what is it? We just need a key, right? Yeah, I think so. Key hash. Okay, yeah, so I think it's just chunk. We don't even need it. We probably need, no, we probably need a chunk position, right? Yeah, that's what we would do. Chunk position. Oh, that was over here. We need a chunk position, and then I think we need a hash here as well. M underscore meshed chunks. Cool. Still not ordered set. There's no storage class or type. Maybe we just get rid of this, I think. Why is this not liking this? Let's see. Did I do something wrong, dude? Do I need to pass in a I think I need to add the include. I think that's probably what I'm missing. Yeah, I need to add it. Okay. There we go. Okay, cool. Are you into trading stuff? I'm working on a trading system. No, actually, I'm not. I think it's I actually think it's really boring. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I don't know what it is, man. I play games growing up. I still play games. I personally think what got me into programming in the first place was gaming. So yeah, I love games. So that's why I got kind of into graphics programming as a I don't know if I'd want to do like game programming or graphics programming as a career. I kind of like it as a hobby, but yeah, I think it's .find is what we need. Finds the element with a specific key. Yeah. Okay, let's do is .find. Mesh chunks is undefined. Why are you undefined? Application.cpp. Oh, wait, hang on. Fuck, I changed it in the wrong file. Whoops. No. Wait, hang on. Chunk. Pause. Chunk. Where did I add that? Application.h. Oh yeah, it should be here. m_mesh chunks. Why can't you see it? Application.cpp. Okay, that's fine. So we can find it. .find position. Cool. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we just can't convert it to this. Well, what methods do we have in here? Is there any that returns something else? .find .contains. Yeah, okay, that returns a bool. Okay, that's what we need. .contains position. Cool. And this here, can't even remember what the thing is. Should be dot insert elements or nodes in place. I guess we can stick with insert, not insert. We don't need this anymore.
Hello? Whoa.
Mama Gorgon 85 lives here?
Meshed.
Yep. That's my mom.
Oh, I misspelled it, that's why.
Gaming on her phone
Dot
to
insert
ruthless online
position.
streaming slayer with no mercy
There you
for
go.
any living thing is your
Yes, we
mom.
want this to be H.
Hey,
We want
guys.
this to be.
Apples with peanut butter?
Oh,
How is this
we got
possible?
With AT&T.
skip the ad. I think you need first created one layer of cobblestone or grass. Oh yeah, I returned. Hi, what's up, dude? Thanks for jumping on me back. Yeah, you know, this is a relatively new project, so let's go mesh chunk. There should be a H here. Mesh.cpp mesh chunks. Cool. Nice. I think that worked too. Let's run it. This change literally doesn't do anything, but God, it takes so long to compile, dude. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that works. Let's see if it's generating. So we are generating as we move. The FPS does drop, but that's fine. Okay. Cool. We got that happening. Okay, so now we got our methods here in world that we want to implement. So we got has chunk and we got unload chunk. Cool. So let's start with the has chunk. That should be pretty easy. So let's do chunk pause. No, what are we returning here? We're returning bool, right? Bool, world, has chunk. We want to pass in a chunk position. I guess chunk, right? Const, right? This is const. Whoops. Cool. So really, what is this method here? We get the position, right? The chunk position is just a two ints, an x and a z, which represent the chunk in world space. So I guess we can just do, well, okay, well, if what are we checking this in? Has chunk. What do we have in our world? All chunks. What is that? That is a unordered map. C++. We need play swap merge. Check if the container contains an element specific key. Yeah, this is what we want. Contains bool. All right, let's do that. If m underscore all chunks dot contains chunk, we literally just want to return true. Otherwise, we just return false. Cool. Simple method, easy. Now we want a void world unload chunk, taking a chunk position chunk, and then we want an implementation. Right. To unload a chunk, we need, if it's not within our area here, shit. Let's do a static const expression int. Let's call it render distance. That is 8 for now. A global render distance, right? So then now we can just remove that from our world position, has chunk. What's our application? So instead of having this here, we can just do int render distance is equal to world render distance. Cool. I guess we probably don't even need this, bro. We can honestly just... it's fine. We'll leave it. It's not that big of a deal, but okay. Now we need to unload the chunk, right? So to unload the chunk, we just need to check outside of our camera space. So really, it's just the opposite of the 4 we have here. Let's see here, application.h. Underscore chunk data. Let's just implement this method, right? So we have our okay, unload chunk. Really, what does this unload chunk method mean? We literally just need to erase it from m underscore chunk. So let's do m underscore all chunks dot erase chunk. I feel like that's probably all we need.
unlock more than ever with the American Express Platinum Card. Access over $3,500 in value each year. Explore new restaurants with the $400 Resi credit. Enjoy that can't-miss show with the $300 digital entertainment credit. And travel the world with the $600 hotel credit. For experiences like no other, get the card like no other. There's nothing.
Another ad. Okay. Nice. So that's done. So now in our application, we have this generate chunks around camera. We're gonna do a unload chunks around camera method. So let's add that here. Do a void unload chunks around camera. Chunk position. We pass in a camera position. This is going to be called every single update. So do a void application unload chunks around camera. We pass in our chunk position, camera, pause. Is it the camera pause? What do we pause? Yeah, chunk pause, camera chunk. I guess that's probably more. Okay, cool. We are also going to need to go to our main loop here. What is our run? Our update function. We generate chunks around the camera. We then want to call unload chunks. Why is it not coming up? Hello. Unload chunks around camera. Passing our camera chunk. Cool. So we unload these chunks, now we implement this method. So pretty much what we want to do here is we want to do the same. So the math here is kind of AIDS, but I don't even really know how to do it off the top of my head. But so I didn't really, it says possibly look deeper in this. I didn't really look deeper in this. So we pretty much need to, from the current position we need to calculate how many blocks it has. Let's grab this generate chunks method. We can get rid of this, this is my generate chunks method. Doing a unload chunks around camera method. What is the math behind the 2 for loops that check chunks outside of render distance? Yeah, we know this. Okay. So give me every chunk who's offset with camera. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Now unloading, this is where people mess up. You don't want another nested loop. You already have a. So unloading is the inverse condition of your generation. The core math idea. Instead of looping, is this chunk too far from the camera? We do a distance check. Ah, that's even smarter. Okay. So we take our current position X minus the camera chunk position is greater than render distance, or abs op position X is greater than render distance. If either axis exceeds R, it's outside your square. Implementation idea. Interesting. Okay, this is, I would have never thought this way, but okay, this is interesting. Okay, so we loop through all of our mesh chunks. We grab the position, we check, unload. Otherwise else we keep iterating. Interesting. This is an interesting solution here. I would have thought a different way. I thought of just calculating the chunks, but that's so stupid, right? Because if I'm actually calculating the chunks outside of the square, I'm never going to find everything. So yeah, this is definitely a way better way. I don't know how I didn't think about this, but I guess we can think about this solution here. So, okay, let's grab our render distance. It's equal to world render distance. Okay. So we have a lot of things to delete, right? A lot of things to unload, right? We have to unload all our shaders and GPU pipeline stuff. So this is going to be interesting, but let's see what we have had access to here. So we have application here. Application owns... Oh, no. What did I just do? Go back. Application.h, let's move this over here. About chunk, we can get rid of chunk. I'm not gonna look at chunk. Our application.h owns our mesh chunks and our chunk data. Are we even using our chunk data? I don't know if this is old. Oh, we are using it. Application shutdown, render record, MS called chunk data. Chunk data holds, okay, this holds our GPU stuff, right? So we're gonna have to actually remove this too. Totally forgot about that. So good thing I didn't delete this. This is definitely not temporary. All right, let's change this. This holds GPU. Pipeline data. Right. We need to unload both of these, and then we're going to need to unload from world.cpp, which we created this method here to unload the chunk, right? So we have our map here with all our chunks in world space. So in our application here, we grab our world distance here. Then we want to create an iterator here. So for, what is it called? M_ mesh chunks. So for auto it is equal to m_, is it mesh chunks? Is that what we have? Yeah, m_mesh chunks. This is our unordered set. So mesh chunks dot begin. I can't remember the syntax to do an iterator here. Oh yeah, it's auto it m_mesh chunks dot begin. What does this give us back?
Stay on brand across every platform.
Inline's still conditional.
Keep your branding consistent for all designs in a few clicks.
Iterator. I think it's a pointer, right?
Canva makes it easy to stay on brand. Try it on Canva Pro today.
I don't know. I think it's a pointer. Is an iterator a pointer? No, there is not a straight pointer, but a generalization of one. While a pointer is a fundamental data type that holds a raw memory address, an iterator is a high-level object that provides a pointer-like reference. Okay. Cool. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay. Or it begin. It does not equal m_meshed chunks dot end. What am I missing here? I'm missing a colon. Where is this here? Okay, yeah, so there's apparently a colon here. Okay. Cool. Okay, so if we loop through and we don't reach the end of it, right? Now, why does an iterator use .end again? I don't remember why. I'd actually like to know. Can't remember. Find pass the end sentinel value marking the boundary of a container safely terminate the loops. Okay, so if we found it, we want to create a... What are we doing here? We're unloading the chunk, so... is this going to be const? Yeah, we're not going to edit it, so yeah, it probably is const. For const const chunk pos. I guess cur chunk is equal to we want to dereference it, I believe. Iterator dereferences at the front. Yeah, that works. We want a reference to this, so constant show pump chunk punk reference. Okay. So we grab the current chunk position, and then we want to check the distance, right? So we have our camera chunk here. So if now what is this math here? So if the current position that we're looking at minus our, we probably want the absolute value here because we don't know, right? So abs, we want the current chunk position, so we would go I guess this probably should be position, right? Let's do position.x minus the camera chunk dot x is greater than world. Oh, we got render distance here. Render distance for the absolute value of the position y minus camera chunk dot y. Oh, sorry, dot z, not y. What am I doing? Chunk dot. Oh, what is happening here? Expected an expression. What are we missing here? Why doesn't all this not like it? Oh shit. Do an extra thing here. Okay. Dot x camera chunk dot z is greater than render distance. Then we want to start unloading everything, right? Start unloading everything. So what's the first step here? Probably want to remove it from our mesh chunks, right? Dots m_world has chunk unload chunk pause. So we unload that chunk from world, right? We have a lot of different things to do, right? We want to unload from world. So our world holds our m_all chunks. That method takes in the chunk, erases it. Probably should just check if that actually does it, because I'm actually not 100% sure. So .h is an unordered map. Ordered map C++. Where's our arrays function? Arrays its elements. Remove specified elements from a container. The order of the main containers is preserved. This makes it possible to erase individual elements while iterating through a container. Okay, perfect. That's fine. Okay. We unload here. We got our all chunks here. We got our so now in application.h we have our mesh chunks here, and we have our chunk data. How are we unloading this chunk data? So maybe we want, do we need to delete the render record? I would think so. Okay. else we want to iterate. We need to do m underscore meshed chunks dot arrays position. So we erase from mesh chunks. Now, what does mesh chunks hold? Mesh chunks holds mesh chunks. God, man, as this project increases in size, I start forgetting what things do. But chunks around camera. We have our render record here. What is a render record? What's a chunk position? Dirt, stone, and sand. And our render mesh holds all our VAOs, VVOs, and IVOs, all these rendering stuff. So we want to probably unload all that. We're probably going to need to create a method to unload all these render records. I believe our shutdown method does this. We have a shutdown method. Resets everything. For render record and m underscore chunk data, we reset everything. So I guess we would want to call the shutdown method here. No. We'd probably want instead of looping through everything, we'd want a specific render record in our chunk data. So the method here is probably going to be somewhat similar to that, but let's create that new method. So application.h, we can call it void shut down. What's a good descriptive name for this? Unload shutdown chunk. Unload shutdown chunk. That's fine. We can void unload shutdown chunk. Actually, we want to pass in a chunk position here. Sorry, we want to pass in a shit. Yeah, we'd probably want to pass in stood vector render record, but render record holds a position. So I guess we still probably need to loop, no? I think we'd probably still need to loop. Unless can we somehow look up the... No, we only get the chunk position. So either we'd have to loop through every single render mesh, find the chunk position, which is still possible. I mean, we could do that. I think I'm just going to stick with that, and then I'll get a recommendation later if this is the best way to do it. So let's pass in a chunk position. Chunk pause. Pause. I think this is honestly probably a const method too, right? if mesh dot fuck. So render record, that's what we meant to do. My bad. Render record. Record dots. Leave a render record here holds a render record these chunks here, so we can do, well, if record dots position dot x is equal to pos dot x and record dot pos dot y, so z is equal to pos dot z, then we can erase this from function render record const. Cannot be referenced. Maybe this is not const then. I think maybe this is causing issues.
Hey Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. And maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Const render record reference declared implicitly cannot be referenced. It is a deleted function. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why I'm getting an error here. Oh, copies each render record, right? This needs to be a reference. Okay, there we go. Maybe we can add const back. Still not the best with const correctness, but trying to get better though. Okay, so unloading the trunk. Okay, so maybe this is not constant. I'm thinking if it's actually modifying it directly, but it's actually modifying the object still. So how's it going, bro? It's going, dude. It's going. It's going good. If application will pause equal to position.x, then what do we want to do here? Well, we want to unload it, right? So we want to copy what's up here, right? So let's okay, I think that's good. Then we can call this in our method down here. How is it? Use debug. I don't need to use the debug yet, bro. Application dots application. Sorry, what am I doing? Unload. What did I call this method? Unload. Unload shutdown chunk. Unload shutdown chunk. We want to pass in our position. Cool. Nice. Looks like we got it working here. Again, check distance, start unloading everything. This should unload all that GPU stuff. Oh, and then finally we want to remove it, right? So m underscore chunk Can we just remove the render record? I guess we have to do some research here. Trying to think, do I manually need to do this? I feel like if I delete it from memory, the unique pointer would manually delete it, I think. The record, render chunk mesh. Yeah, we have a unique pointer here. I think it's automatically going to delete it. Can you show main CPP? I want to look for a second. Yeah, sure, bro. There's not much. I mean, it's just calls the run loop. Oh man, fuck. My back. Yeah. Damn. Let's see here. Let's grab this. I was to iterate over a what is it? Let's iterate over application.h, dude. Where is that? Application.h. Has a position struct that holds x, z, int. How can I loop and find the x, z, and then pull dot arrays on it? Are you writed application.h or taked it? Sorry, bro. I don't know what that means, bro. Honestly. If it.position.x equal to target.x. Okay, then we just erase it. Okay, we can just probably do this. Okay, that's perfect. Let's do that. Sorry, bro. I don't know what you mean by that. If you could answer it a little bit. I don't think we actually need to do this because I think it automatically should do this. Right, I should call the VAO.reset. Remove the pointer. Break the pointer. So what is it here? It's an iterator again. Okay, let's do int target x is equal to pos dot x target y is equal to pos dot y. For auto it is equal to m underscore chunk dot begin. It's not equal m underscore chunk data dot end. Then if it's, I don't know if deleting in place is bad or not, but if it position. There we go. Dot x is equal to target x, and it's pos dot y z is equal. I don't know why I keep doing y. I'm just so used to fucking competitive programming, I guess. Are you write it all code in application.h or take the code from websites or anywhere like Lives works? I can't good speak English. Yeah, so like my application, I don't know what, I kind of think I understand what you're saying. So my application.h is like my God class, pretty much. It's like my top level class in the application that pretty much holds all the pointers to the other objects. So, you know, my main.cpp creates that application, right? And then calls the run method, right? And then we come over here to the run method, right? And then my run method is my game loop, right? So while the window's open, everything, it keeps running, and then it updates, right? I have the update method, and then I have the render method, if that makes sense. Unload chunk. Shit, now I'm lost, man. What the hell was I just doing? I was working on this method, I think, yeah. Is equal to target z, which should be here. Then we can call him underscore chunk data dot arrays. Arrays our iterator here. Kinda understand, but okay. It's just a typical game setup. Game loop setup. Oh, whoops, shouldn't be here. Let's call else here. Just want to increment. Okay. I think this should work. So, application.h. Okay, let's scroll down here to this method here. So, that. We iterate. Okay, let's run it. Let's see if it works. God, it takes so long to build. Okay, so I think actually, you know what? We should probably lower the render distance actually. Probably lower it to 4. Well, let's do 2 chunks so we can actually see the unloading. Okay, so here's our little well here. So now I believe if I go this way, oh. Damn, okay. Fuck. Let's think about this here. Does this render distance constant expression? I don't know if, where am I doing this? Generate chunks from the camera. Render distance contains position. I'm gonna stop the unloading for now, so we can kind of figure out this issue. So where's the update method? Stop this unload method. Maybe our generate chunks method is probably not working. Oh wait, we need drop the lower render distance. Where is that in world? Okay, render distance. I don't think this should affect anything else, but let's drop this again to 4. Okay, so it loads, but when you move and it has to unload another chunk. Oh, it works. Okay. Okay, it is loading. Okay, so this works. So it's something to do with my unloading. Let's actually drop this even lower. Right. Put this at 2. You can see it even better. Use Raylib, it's for graphics. I'm not sure what that is, but I haven't really got to block placing and things like that, so guess we'll see. Okay. Let's move forward. Okay, chunks load. But they don't unload. So it's something to do with my unload method. So let's take a look at it. Application.cpp. M_world unload chunk. Removes a chunk. What is a chunk? Chunk position that holds a chunk. I don't know if I'm safely unloading it. Let's actually throw back. It's a friendly library. Okay, I'll take a look at it. I probably will. Probably use something like that. Update. Let's put this method back in here. Okay. Man. Let's take a look here. So it loads. What was my error there, dude? I need to know what it was. I don't know what the error was. Debug session failed. Oh, jeez. Vector iterate is incompatible. Line 202. Vector iterate is incompatible. Try that down. Okay. Line 202. Defocus session failed. Let's take a look at the load chunks around camera. Well, unloading the position. Position is the dereferenced iterator. Damn, bro. has a condition that the developer shouldn't always be true, but it's evaluated false string executions. Invalid pointers, heap correction, trying to delete the same object twice. Okay, I think I'm just deleting something wrong here. Button to press debug the application. Can't do that. Alright, let's take a look here. Pull up here. Oh, whoops. My bad. How do I debug this, bro? Debug session. Retry to debug the application. Press retry. Hey bro, how are you? You a new subscriber? Hey man, I'm good bro. How are you? Trying to figure out why this is happening. Unload chunks around camera, shut down chunk. Vector const iterate. It's a vector render record. So I think it's this here, which was what I was not sure about, but position.x, position.z. mchunk.arrays. I'm passing in the actual pointer. I think I should be passing in this is a pointer. I should be passing in the position. Okay, wait, hang on. m_chunk.arrays is a render record. See, I'm just not sure how to delete this in place here. Like, how do I delete a render record? I actually don't know. I don't know. Hang on. Let me grab this here. I'm wonderful. You are working great. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm trying to figure out why. Codes to vector expects an iterator, not a value. So this should be. Oh, okay. So this should be it is equal to m_chunk data.arrays it. Okay, but why is that? I'm just going to change the vector. Expects an iterator, not a value. Why does it have to be it equals? Okay, I'm not sure why it has to be it equals. It has to assign it back to it because arrays deletes the element and returns a new valid iterator to the next element. It pointing at B. Now you call arrays after the arrays. B is gone. Everything shifts. Old is now invalid dangling. Okay, so it was a dangling pointer. So this needs to incrementing an iterator that no longer points to anything valid. Arrays returns next valid. Oh, okay. So arrays returns the next valid iterator. Okay, so then we make it equal to that. Okay, so that makes sense. So I didn't know that. So okay, interesting. I feel like I've probably got a similar problem then over here in the. We will use an iterator here as well. I think this has to be it is equal to Nope. What did I have it over here? Where is it? MS Squad unload chunk. We unloaded here. Okay, so I think that's good. I think that, let's see if this fixes it. Okay, let's move this way. Is it unloading? Hang on. Ah, there we go. It's unloading. Let's go. Okay, perfect. So now we are pretty much moving and unloading around the camera. Let's go. Okay, sweet. So according to the camera position, we're unloading the chunks. Perfect. Let's go. Nice. So I think the next thing on the plate would probably be, I kind of want to maybe play around with this noise light. Probably a good idea. Probably figure out how I can generate like mountains and actual terrain. I'm not really sure how to do that. I did simple noise, but you know, I'd like to generate some mountains and things like that. Maybe we can figure out, you know, change these rendering blocks instead of sand. I can actually find a better texture for this, but yeah, cool. Sweet. I appreciate you guys watching. We're finally unloading chunks now, so that's another good step ahead. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to grab some food. I'll be back at it tomorrow in the evening, so hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you, you know, I have my Discord in the description. If you want to join, it gives you stream updates when I go live and stuff like that. If you want to follow my GitHub's in the description too, as well as some other things. So I really appreciate that. If not, it's totally okay. But yeah, appreciate it all the time. Appreciate everyone watching. Peace. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.